and we are recording, so you can go on. I'll just hide over here. Ring you out.
Hello, welcome to Malahide Castle. My name is Kate and I'll be showing you guys around today. Whenever you're ready, if you'd like to follow me up to the oak room, I'll start our tour. Just this. If you guys want to hold on there. So this part of the castle is from the 1400s, but it's the oldest part of the still standing stone castle. So originally the castle was basically this room. Wall 1, wall 2, wall 3, and this was the fourth wall. That part was added in the 1800s to add more light with that gorgeous window and a little bit more space. The castles that have been on these grounds for the full 1800 years were all owned by the Talbot family. They were a Normandy family. They came to Ireland with King Henry II in 1174. However, we've no idea where the other castles that came before this one stood, because when they built this, they tore down whatever was before it. So it's anyone's guess, I'm afraid. There are a few interesting panels in this room. Almost all of them are oak, but the ones at the end were originally wardrobe doors, and we think there might be a secret passageway behind it that was used to hide priests, when it wasn't always safe to be Catholic or to be a priest in Ireland. But we can't check without destroying them, so it's just one of the mysteries of the castle, I'm afraid. One of a few, which we'll get to as we go along. This is basically our oak room, so if you'd like to follow me this way, we're going to head into our small drawing room. So this is very, very different. A lot more light. Ireland was a much safer place by the time this was built. A little bit of introduction from our ghosts there, and I will get to that later on, I promise. They do like to play tricks on me throughout the tour. This was built in the 1600s. Ireland was a safer place, so the Talbots were allowed to spend money on big glass windows and lots of gorgeous decoration, instead of the thick stone walls that most of the money went towards before this. The orange colour on the walls is called Malahide orange, named after the castle and found here quite a lot. And you'll see as we go along, there are these little turret rooms throughout the castle. They are the towers that you may see from the outside. They have many different uses: offices, craft rooms, or upstairs in the bedrooms, there are even washrooms or walk-in wardrobes. The gorgeous mirror here above the fireplace was built or made in 1760 on Essex Quay by the Brooker brothers, and you'll notice it's way too high up to look into. The reason is it's to reflect the gorgeous light within this room from the English crystal chandeliers just above you. These are not original, unfortunately. They're a bit more contemporary, and the original ones would have had candles, which needed the mirrors to reflect the light around the room, because the candles just didn't quite cut it. The next room then, which the ghosts have kindly already opened the door for us into, is the large drawing room. So if you want to follow me in this way, this is quite a different space, a lot bigger. This was the room often used for parties. It would also be the ladies' room after a meal if it's a slightly smaller affair. But there are some very interesting pieces in this room, including the confidant chair in the centre, which was used by courting couples. The lady and gentleman would sit in the centre portion while their chaperones sat on the edge to listen to the couple's conversation. They were never allowed to be alone. And the screen to the left of the fireplace was used to protect the lady's makeup from the fire, as the makeup was made from wax and would melt very easily. The Talbot family that lived here then, they lived in the castles for 800 years, as I mentioned before. The last two owners, though, were Lord Milo Talbot and his sister Rose Talbot. Lord Milo inherited the castle in 1948, and he did amazing work to the castle and the grounds. You can even see the west lawn through the window just behind you there. He did such great work, and we owe him such a debt, but several of his plans went uncompleted. He died quite young at the age of only 57 of a heart attack while on holiday, and his sister Rose inherited the estate after him. Unfortunately, with that estate came a huge amount of debts and taxes, which she was unable to pay all of. So in 1976, she sold the castle to the Irish government, and she then moved to Tasmania. There's a whole other Malahide estate down there. She lived there and ran a sheep farm there very successfully till 2009, when she died at the age of 93. But she used to come back and visit this castle pretty much every summer. She absolutely loved it here. And actually just out in the hallway, if you'd like to follow me this way, we have a portrait of the last two owners you might find interesting. It is a gorgeous portrait. Just through here. Gorgeous doorway. And just out this way. So we have the portrait just here. So that's Lord Milo with his gorgeous red hair, Rose with the blonde curls, and then their mother Ava, whose lap Rose is sitting on. The staircase then that we're going to head up to the bedrooms by is 300 years old and is a cantilever staircase. It supports all its own weight. We're going to head up. You'll notice there's 2 doors on the way up, which we won't be visiting. They're still waiting to be finished. There's 3 bedrooms up here though, if you'd like to follow me this way. Go. Through the doorway, and we will start in the ladies' bedroom on this floor. In we go. So, in this room, we have a whole bunch of different beautiful pieces. The bedrooms on this level are a little bit different to what we saw before. Downstairs, not as much of the furniture as original, but a good portion of what's up here is we have the furniture in the ladies' turret curves the shape of the wall and is cut to fit the dado rail, so it cannot be moved to any other room in the castle, let alone pretty much anywhere else in the world. So it's got to stay here. And this was actually Rose's bedroom before she left the castle. The rose curtains are her choice, so we obviously left them hanging, her little namesake. And just to the side of the bed here on the left, you'll see a teasmade, an alarm clock on one side with an electric kettle on the other. Basically, so you could have tea in bed in the morning. That one dates from the 1950s, not quite as old as some of the other pieces around the castle. We also have little curling irons just here on the desk, used to curl their hair, but also now, in a more contemporary setting, used to curl mustaches in films, would you believe. On the doorways, and on this level, you'll notice there's this little brass mechanism on each door frame. It's a set of rings with a bar that drops through the rings. Now, the original doors had a matching set. The two would line up, and the bar would drop through both to lock the door every evening. A bit of wire then went from the top of the bar up to the ceiling and across to the far side of the bed. So in the morning, when the maids knocked on the door, whoever was in bed could roll over, pull the wire, and the door would unlock all by itself. Remote control doors, essentially. Kind of handy, and I really want to bring those back. Okay, into the children's bedroom next, I think. Now, there are 6 smaller bedrooms up above this level, and those probably would have been the children's bedrooms, but we just couldn't help but decorate one when given the chance. This then is our children's bedroom. A whole host of gorgeous pieces in this room as well. For example, the Danish Royal Theatre on the table, left of the window there. Also on the table, we have 2 sets of tin soldiers, the City Imperial Volunteers and the Royal Dublin Fusiliers. In front of the window then, a little horse and carriage play set. The horses actually do move up and down when they're pushed. And to the right on the dresser, you'll see a Noah's Ark play set. Religious toys, only allowed to be played with on Sundays in the Victorian era, and most of the toys in here are from the Victorian era. In front of the fireplace though, a little bathtub. Now, this is a child-sized bathtub, it's a crouching bathtub, but the adult ones were pretty much the same size, just ever so slightly larger. The smaller the bathtub, the less water had to be brought up from the basement. Very important. And one last piece in this room, which I kind of find funny, just to the left of the fireplace, a rocking chair with a hole at the bottom, because it's a rocking potty. Not exactly good in the logistics of that one. Doesn't really bear thinking about. Into the gentleman's bedroom, I think. Our last bedroom on this floor. In we go. So, in the gentleman's bedroom, one of the most striking pieces, obviously, is this very ostentatious 4-poster bed. It was made for David Garrick, a very talented actor from London. He stayed here for about a month, and after he left the bed behind. The imitation bamboo posts are quite striking. On the little dresser desk here then, we have a photograph of Lord Milo in all his lordly finery, and several fascinating pieces in the turret as well, including the wallpaper in there, which is original. The last room on this level then is the bathroom, just out this way. In through here. And in the bathroom, we have a whole host of pieces. So we have the bathtub, 100-year-old handmade copper bathtub, but no tap and drain. So the water was always brought up from the basement kitchen 3 stories below us. Not an easy job. And then, of course, the flushing toilet came quite late to the castle. Last room then is the Great Hall, which is down the servants' stairs. The stairs that we came up was a family staircase, 300 years old, as I mentioned. This is a servant stairs. Family never use a servant's one. Servants never use a family one. Very strict rule. Just do this way then. After you. And the stairs will go. Now, our great hall. This, our gorgeous great hall, is quite similar in date to the first room we were in actually, also from the 15th century. Not much has changed to it, windows made slightly larger and that minstrel's gallery added at the